welcome back to the channel. It's me, Reising here. Unfortunately, Repeat might not be in call with me for the start of this video, right? He'll show up later, but this is week 1 of WPF Duels, and we are playing the Surfing Synonyms, which is just a horrible name, to be honest with you. And everything about their team kind of blows, right? They have Iron Valiant, which is a horrible mon. It really only does one thing, right? And what it does, it isn't good at. Garchomp is really known as one of the weakest mons across the board. It's just doesn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Greninja actually kind of stinks. Ceruledge, realistically, Ceruledge is pretty broken. It's just really strong. Other than that, their team's kind of bad. Really going to this match, we did some mocks and stuff. Repeat was playing as them, and I was playing as me. But once I found this team, I don't think I lost a game. So the first member of this team is going to be Jirachi. Heartstopper. Repeat did this nickname, so if it's bad, blame Repeat. If it's good, also, shout out to Repeat. But it's just super phys def, because they have a lot of physical attackers. If you look at their first 4, Greninja, special, but it also can be physical. It's probably gonna be special, right? Then everything, Garchomp, Ceruledge, physical. Iron Valiant is probably coming special this game because Thunderbolt, right? Because that's really his only way to hit Basculegion, which is super strong, right? Like, look at their team and look at Basculegion. Their water resist, Greninja doesn't count because it dies anyway. It's Serena. So, like, that's really it. So, Jirachi, if we get up Rain and we get Basculegion in, if we bring Basculegion F this week, it could be really trouble for them, right? If they don't have booster speed Valiant, then it could really be over for them. Iron Head just for consistent damage, U-turn to try and get in said Basculegion, Wish just for general, try to keep the team healthy, and Damp Rock to try and give our Basculegion as many rain turns as possible. Next up is Portellinor, the Tornadus. It has enough bulk, so it can live a +1 Thunderbolt from Iron Valiant, I believe. It might have been, no, it was definitely +1, I feel like. And then we have Hurricane, Dark Pulse, Nasty Plot, Rain Dance once again. Realistically, this thing's really only going to be cooking Hurricane and Dark Pulse, but if it gets that extra turn, it can actually be very strong. But from the mocks that we played, the other 2 moves didn't really matter, so we decided, hey, if they give us a turn, try and give us something that we can capitalize on. Next up, Basculegion. Florida, just a legend. We're bringing Basculegion F this week. Choice specs. Swift Swim, not adaptability. So it has enough speed to outspeed Iron Valiant and Rain, and it's just gonna rip Surf, literally Terra Water, Surf, and Rain. Does 60% to Serena. So he doesn't have a switch into this thing. He simply doesn't. If we get this thing in, it claims kills. If we've used their booster speed. We have Aqua Jet just to try and revenge something like a Ceruledge that's gotten out of hand. Shadow Ball just for Ceruledge. Ice Beam in case Garchomp, but I really think we're just playing Surf, to be honest with y'all. Right, we have Beetroot, red card, specifically for if a Ceruledge gets out of hand, or Iron Valiant, because we can get rid of its booster energy by switching in Rotom, and then it gets forced out. So that's how we're gonna try and leverage this to try and disable their booster speed. We have Silly Fishy, Tatsugiri, Choice Scarf. To be honest, this slot was really tough between Great Tusk and Tatsugiri, but we ended up deciding on Tatsugiri because honestly, now that we're doing a whole lot, this still does get spin, but just being able to revenge stuff with like Dragon Pulse, Draco, Surf is just nice. Then finally, the GOAT, Jeremy. He's here. We got leftovers. We have enough bulk to live post-combat from Ceruledge, and we live Aura Sphere, and Focus Blast has about a 60% chance to OHKO us from Valiance, but it also has a chance to miss, so really it's like got a 50, like probably around, I don't know, maybe 50, 60% chance to actually kill us, which I'm fine taking those odds, Jeremy's a GOAT. We got Roost, Glare, Boomburst, Earth Power. This is our designated lead, so we're going to try and glare something, and it pretty much 1v1s anything off the lead, except for maybe the only thing I can think of is if he hits a Focus Blast on us with Valiant, or doesn't 1v1 Valiant, but getting a glare out is super huge. Just being able to 1v1 pretty much anything, except maybe close combat Ceruledge, which could come, but I don't know if he has the move slots for it, because he really wants Bitter Blade, Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, and close combat. Or not close combat, Swords Dance. Anyway, that's the squad for this week. Hope y'all are ready to get into the battle when we do that. So yeah, see y'all then. Alright, we're back. Unfortunately, we were not able to do commentary during the game because Repeat wasn't there, and it was just kind of laggy on our part. We were just kind of trying to get through it and play it to our best of our ability, and so it's just me talking. So we decided, hey, we'll do post-com. Anyway, now we're going to go over our play-by-play, step-by-step analysis. Just kind of what happened.
We were just being Dagum tryhards. So.
Yeah, Dagum real. You've already seen the intro that we did, but basically the game plan was get Jeremy in for the lead, and then our win con was trying to get Rain up, and then Basculegion sweeping through once we've got nullified some of their threats. So it's notable to say, off the rip, their Terra captain was Ceruledge, and it was Terra Ghost, which is what I played against in mocks. So we were prepared to that to as much as we could be, because our only switch-in was Jeremy.
Yeah, so we were prepared for it. Yeah, we see Garchomp. This was like the safest lead that we assumed from our opponent.
100%. Yeah. And I will say this is what we most likely happened in mocks, is this is kind of the scenario that we had, is Jeremy versus Garchomp, right? But it doesn't go according to plan. It's a very unusual Garchomp set. It's Draco Eject Pack, which I think is just really weird gray. I feel like it wasn't that strong. So we can pause here. I feel like it wasn't that strong into us. Like that did 66% to Fizz Def Jeremy. I think I had 76 Spadef EVs and max HP. So that's the amount that did. We got a paralyzation on Tink, and we did have Jeremy versus Tink quite a bit in mock. So we were comfortable in this scenario, right?
So we get a little bit of leftovers damage. Earth Power comes out here. This doing 21 damage definitely tells us that that is max Spadef Tinkaton. So
I think we said it was mixed. I think we said it was max HP mixed. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it was mixed. It's like a little bit less Spadef, but it's still like near max.
And then we decided to go into Torn. I'm trying to remember why. I think we're just expecting Earthquake, and then Torn can just kind of sponge anything from just special Garchomp. Just seemed like a kind of a whack bring, right? With Spadef drop, we could just rip Hurricanes. Then they switch in Tank likely, but Tank isn't one to switch in that much, you know?
Yeah, like Garchomp isn't really doing much here. And with a special defense drop, it's really threatened by Cornelius here.
100%.
At first, we were considering going for a nasty plot in this position, but we just decided to go for raw damage just because if they go into Tinkaton, we're actually walled by it anyway. So we're like, okay, we gotta just get some chip off. If they stay in, that's fine. We get a lot of damage off on Garchomp or something else. But unfortunately,
we do miss Kane.
Yeah, well, that's a huge miss because it would have actually allowed us to 1v1 Cerulege here by just going for nasty plot into Dark Pulse, or really just like forcing a switch into something else and chipping that down.
This is worth talking. Would you have wanted a nasty plot? Because I feel like I would have went for Dark Pulse, just to get the flinch chance on the first time.
I think we definitely should have clicked nasty plot on the Garchomp. I don't disagree with the Hurricane, but I feel like it was really awkward from there, and then it was kind of an obvious switch. So I guess we could have we kind of forced a switch there, and we could have taken advantage of that, but we didn't. Yeah, I don't disagree with the Hurricane though. I still think it's a good play. Because again, if they do go to Tinkaton, we're walled. So
yeah, and I think because we Hurricane, and if they just went Tank, then we would have had to switch out again. But if we went Hurricane, Dark Pulse, we would have killed it anyway. Whereas if we Nasty Plot, it still takes 2 Dark Pulses to kill it.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. So I do think that Hurricane was probably our best play, right?
Because in mocks, we actually prepped versus Sash Cerulege with weak armor, so they're gonna see they go for
Dark Pulse,
and that
sponges.
does only it just doesn't
and then
do
just
as
gets
much.
Back up. So I guess it wouldn't 1v1 Cerulege just because of its Bitter Blade, right? But it's the Hurricane hitting still would have been huge, and we really had to get Torn out here, just get Regenerator. We can't lose Torn this early. It was just no scenario where it would have been worth it.
Yeah, so we're just gonna switch into Tatsugiri.
We end up going Tatsugiri just because Choice Scarf allows it to just drop a Draco and just get some damage that will stick on this thing, and it can't Bitter Blade us back up. And if we lose Tatsugiri, it's by far our least important member of the team. So if it does go down here, then that's fine.
Which, as you can see, they click Terra Blast this time, which is a good play from our opponent's end. We don't really risk going to Bounce Burst there, so great call on their end. They go for a bulk up here, which is really risky, which we already revealed Glare, but yeah, as you can see, it nids them in the bud there as they get paralyzed on our roost. Yeah, the thought process was going Basque Legion here was we're not going to 1v1 Cerulege with Earth Power since that's our only attack move that can hit it, and they're probably going to click Bitter Blade anyway, and even if they do click Terra Blast, they have a chance to parry here. Again, we just go Basque Legion, now we can just start throwing off Shadow Balls. Greninja isn't really a real switching anyway, so...
We do as we said, we click Shadow Ball, I believe, and just do immense crit, but it was 2-hit, or it might not have been 2-hit with lefties, but...
Maybe not, because critical hits 30.
Critical hits 1.5, so it would have been what?
35.
It was 60. It would have done.
Yeah,
it would have done about 40. Yeah, 40, 35. But I don't know if the crit mattered, but regardless, it was handy.
Yeah, definitely handy. It just sped up the process versus Tinkaton, really.
I will say that was a very risky U-turn and potentially rattled Jeremy, right? But hey, they did go for it, so this combat does come out, which is kind of fine, right? Because now we get the drop. We identify that it is Life Orb, and honestly, I was just really pumped after I saw that it was not booster speed, as we said. That was the main thing that revenges.
Sash or booster speed were really annoying.
That revenges Basque.
Almost everything really with Thunderbolt and Shadow Sneak, so...
Yeah, so we can really just get Basque in, and we really didn't think that they had an answer for it, so...
So now we know we can just go Jirichi.
That was an interesting pronunciation there. We get up our Rain Dance. We are Damp Rocks. We do have 8 turns, or 7 turns from now. We get Dark
Which
Pulse.
would have been enough. Dark Pulse, we know we'll live. We were actually going for U-turn here to safely get in our Basque Legion, but fortunately we get flinched. which is terrible because now, one, we don't get damage off, and two, Hirachi is in range of other attacks now, and we can't get in the Basque Legion to abuse our rain turns. So
Yeah, and we lost what? 2 rain turns there because we lost this turn where we clicked U-turn and then we die again. So we would have been in a phenomenal, just exquisite position with our Basque Legion in. And then we just click Surfs and we just pick up a kill because as you might see later, it does quite a bit to Serena. So
And our Basque Legion is still full, so they can't revenge with the Greninja even if they are Scarf, which we haven't identified yet. But yeah, you just play it on. I believe we decided to sacrifice Jirachi here, right?
maybe, yeah. I think we did. Just to get
Yeah,
Basket safe.
we sacked Jirachi here. Get in the
And it's
Basque Legion
just, that
safely.
pronunciation is criminal. So we get Florida in and we just feel safe to click Surfs and just deletes,
as you can see,
right?
Neutral hit, but it doesn't matter. Serena comes out.
Serena, we could have, we would have done a significant amount to it, but we decided, there's no reason not to just go Torn here, right? On the U-turn, Repeat did say that we should have gone for the Surf there. I still think switching out was just better, because then who does he bring in, right?
He brings in, the thing is,
Gren, but then we can go Rotom, and then, because Rotom isn't doing anything to these last mons that Basque and Torn isn't, so I'd still stand by this play in my mind.
The thought process with, suggesting to stay in was, we do have to Serena, and then that's, their only water resist gone. We're not taking as much spikes damage, we're not stacking it up on Basque Legion, but yeah, the U-turn.
I just think surfing and just losing instantly, I just think it wasn't worth it, as we still had a lot of more game to play, right?
I don't disagree with it, but that's just me. I was willing to play risky that game. So Rotom comes out here.
So yeah, we sacked Rotom.
Yeah, 100%. We weren't
still have
Sash,
rain,
we weren't Pasho.
So now we can go Basque.
They go Garchomp here. I'm a Shadow Ball.
I'm not sure why we Shadow Balled.
I think it was to catch Serena or something. I think it was just neutral to hit Greninja, try to Oko Greninja.
That was it. That was it. Yeah. Yeah, it was water. Yeah, never mind.
But in hindsight, Surf was probably better there just because they're probably choice at this point.
No, I disagree because I think Greninja, the way that they were playing, was very awkward because they could have stayed in at a certain point in the game and just...
They were definitely playing it like it was choiced. We just didn't know if it was Spexter.
No, I don't think they were playing like their choices. I think because they had Gren in with Dark Pulse onto our Florida and they could have just nuked us into probably Shadow Sneak with Buddy, but instead they decided to sack it.
I think we should have just done more Calcs versus Jirachi with the Dark Pulse Calcs. It's our fault for not seeing how much that did, but regardless, the flinch really hurt us. It didn't allow us to abuse as many rain turns. You can see we would have still had 2 more rain turns, and now we're on our last one. So being able to click those extra attacks would have definitely been helpful. I
honestly think without the flinch, we would have gotten Florida in. They would have sacked something. They would have gotten Serena in. We would have made the same Rotom or Horn play. They might have gotten out. But I think no matter what, we just end up with more product. We just end up getting so much more value out of it.
Yeah, we definitely get a lot more profit. I'm just not sure if we still win. It would have been a lot closer, but I would have definitely loved to see how it ended.
We go Torn here, which does...
a little over half.
For whatever reason, they Shadow Sneak. We would have gotten rain up no matter what, but now we do get to fire off a Hurricane.
So we actually had Rain Dance on our Torn again, just in case our Jirachi went down earlier. But they click Shell Sneak again. We survive on a sliver of HP and we're able to throw off a Hurricane. Pick up the Valiant, which is huge because now they can't click Shadow Sneak into a Basque Legion.
And then we decided to go into Basque, right, because it should live any hits, and then we can hit it back. And then from there, Torn should clean up the game, depending if... I don't even know if it gets it. Does Serena have Triple Axel? Is that even in the game anymore?
No, it does not have Triple Axel, and I believe it wasn't Sash or Clover, so it just drops to Tornadus.
Or even, I don't think it could do more than 40% back to Torn anyway. But anyway, so...
Yeah. Anyway, so they come out, they click Dark Pulse, and we're like, oh, this is great. We're like, oh, we're probably faster. We can click Surf. Unfortunately, they were Scarf.
Yes.
This is the unfortunate bring. There were a bunch of different sets that we were expecting from our opponents. Scarf was just the obvious spring, but we just decided to...
I don't even know if it was that obvious.
They didn't see that. It outspeeds our whole team.
Greninja already outspeeds our whole team.
Yeah, but Swift Swim Basque, right? I guess they respected that in the team builder, so that's just gonna prep on their end. It's also what we tested versus, but yeah, we just really disrespected that option from our opponent.
I just feel like he didn't play like it was Scarfed, and we never had a chance to find out if it was Scarfed. They hid that very well.
I think they played it pretty well. I think they played Greninja like it was choice. I just didn't think that we knew if it was Specs or Scarf.
I just disagree because they definitely had a turn where they could have gone for damage on Basque pretty freely.
I think they were just worried that they would have missed the KO by Sliver, and then we revenge KO them, and then it's oh, Basque Legion outspeeds my whole team. I have no priority. I'm goobed, and then yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're sat. scarfed, but it doesn't really matter. What happened, right? So they were end up scarfed,
Yeah.
and we did lose. But honestly, I'm still happy. I think we played solid in this very hard matchup. Sarah Valiant was very hard for us, right?
Especially with Greninja too, like being able to outspeed our whole team with a choice scarf was annoying.
Yeah, man, you just go
Mhm.
on and on about this choice scarf.
Yeah, that's pretty annoying.
But
Should have had an
yeah,
open team sheet. This should have been VGC.
yeah. But anyway, yeah. And we still played well. It was down to the wire, and really, I still am a firm believer that we win without the Jirachi flinch because we get the damage down on Greninja, and now it just really would have changed the game 100%.
Props to our opponent. GG's to them. Well played, and yeah, we'll move on to next week. I still feel confident enough that we can
100%.
push back and do really well in this tournament. I believe in our draft, and I believe in our skill sets to move forward and adapt.
Yes, because we are 0-1, and it does take 4-1 to top cut, I guess, or there's might be a couple 3-2s, but we would make it in convincingly, not by a sliver of our teeth, right? Hope you all tune in next week for our obliteration of our opposition. And I feel bad. I apologize in advance to them because they will unfortunately drop to 0-2 and their hopes of winning will be shattered. Anyway, we will move on. We will see y'all next time. Peace.